Hi, welcome to Conscious Healing Energy Tarot. My name is She. I am so sorry, guys. I've heard from a few of you that was looking for the reading that came out either on a Tuesday or Wednesday. This week, I did not do a reading on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I have to tell you because the energies from the week past that started May 1st was very, very powerful. And we had 6 cards for that reading. So if you're just joining us, go back to May 1st. I actually have it labeled May 1st energies. So through the 8th, so you can tap into those energies. And I really, guys, I have to tell you, I was traveling this past week for work, and I did try to squeeze a reading in, but those energies were so powerful that they were running overtime into my week, to the point where when I tried to sit down and do the reading, it was not coming out. It was just interruption after interruption. It was just the cards were telling me, don't do it. This is not the right time. So I listened to my guides. I've meditated this week triple time, double time. Some of you that know me know I do meditate every day. Sometimes my meditations take me into hours, and I'll say up to 5 hours of meditation. It depends on how drained I am. When I'm out in public view, I do have an energy like a moth to a flame, that people come. They come, and they come with their questions. They come with their energy, even if they don't even know that, I am a healer. I'm a Reiki healer, that I channel energy and I channel light. So they unwilling participants, unknown to them, when they approach me or drawn to me for various reasons, um, that's how I know when my energy is at its peak. And it does have a point where, when I'm in overload of people coming over and over again, or if I run into someone who told someone else, what my gifts are, they come to me, and then sometimes they challenge me because they aren't believers, and they leave in a believing, sometimes, a weakened status, because what they were prepared to receive from me was more and more powerful when they were in a place of disbelief. So that also can drain my energy. So I have to spend time refocusing and bringing my own energies back into focus. I don't walk around sharing my gifts. I take my gifts very seriously. I know that they're God given gifts, and so I also wait for my guides and for my spirit to share with me whom and what time those gifts are to be shared, because they're sacred. And if they're misused or abused, that would not be good for me or anyone who are in the direction of that misused energy. So I take it very seriously, and I'm forever grateful that I have something that can help others, as well as when I'm giving pearls to someone else, they're also giving me beautiful pearls right back. So we're going to go ahead and start this reading. This reading is being done on May 10th, a few days later, and it is Friday. The weekend is what we celebrate to be known as Mother's Day, this Sunday. So this week I'm channeling Mother's Day. I'm using the goddess cards, the power of the goddesses, and we're using our shaman cards for the wisdom of the oracle to help us channel energies through the week. So I'm going to start with our normal reading of our wisdom cards. Our focus is a crystal wand, and crystal wands are very powerful. They come in different shapes and they have various uses. I use them in my healing practice to help heal chakras and bring into balance wherever that critical balance that's out of tune need a little extra crystal energy. So we're going to use our crystal wands this week. I've been directed by our spirits as well as the crystal itself to take part in this crystal for the week that is coming up through this weekend starting on May 10th. So our intention is focus, and we're going to see where this focus is going to take us this week so we can have clarity. So, and again, the week isn't any direct week. The week is when you tap into these energies and how these energies are vibrating and tapping into your life. Looking at the screen, the intent is set, and we're vibrating at 852 hertz. So we're asking the card for the intent of clarity and focus for the rest of the month of May. And it may be for the rest of the month of May, because that's how powerful the month of May itself is, being in the sign of Taurus the Bull. Dear shamans, please, we're looking for a card to help clarify, focus, and determine the rest of the month. And we'll see what happens, because these energies are very powerful. I actually feel them, and I don't even want to say it's going to be just a week, because these energies for the month of May, actually, as you tap into them, they are for everyone, but certain energies directly will be specifically for certain individuals who are tapping into these energies right now. If it's something that you need more clarity, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is below. You can also subscribe and share for a weekly, or as often as the spirits called me into these energies. We're vibrating on the earth, and I think I kept shuffling because I wanted to make sure these cards, I'm telling you guys, these cards feel so powerful. The energy of the shaman, the power of the shaman, the power of the earth itself is, and that was the last card that wanted to come out. So we're going to put that to the side, and we are going to pick up our cards and unravel one at a time where we are. Okay, so we're back at this card. This is why I said last week, May 1st, this card came out. And the Adine cross is a directional card, and we're talking about focus. It's also a number 2 energy. So we're going to place that there, and we will come back into unwrapping these cards. I hope you guys can see these cards, because tapping into these energies so that you can feel them for yourself. This was the second card that came out. It is a 59. It is upper world. So that's going to come right behind that Adine cross, that Indian cross. Excuse my pronunciations. I'm listening to my guides on how to pronounce, and so sometimes I hear it and then I hear it with a different ear because the ear is inner. The next card that came was the Smoky Mirror. 47 is this energy. And remember, when we look at these numbers in numerology, we do have to add them and break them down, but we will break them down as we go. We have 5 cards with the wisdom cards this week. The next card is a cat card. Wow, it's a jaguar. The energy is a 28. I have a story about this jaguar. And then our next card, and we'll do the goddesses underneath these cards. We'll see what comes out and how the goddesses for Mother's Day have an input for us into the energies for this beautiful holiday that's coming up. The next card, number 5, is giveaway. The giveaway, and the card number is 23, which is 5 itself. Okay, so we're going to start there. We have 5 cards, and we're looking at a number 5. We're talking about changes. So the week ahead is the beginning of some changes in our lives. So the mystical shaman oracle guide is the first set of cards we're using. We have 5 cards that came out. So again, when we talk about this Andean cross, and again, we had this Andean cross. It came in to our reading of energy this past week. And it talked about the directions of this cross along with that hole. I do know, and I have seen somewhere where the Andean cross is found in mystical cultures, such as in Peru. The Mayans also had some experience with the Andean cross. And to talk about the medicine, we're going to talk about the medicine because we did talk about the invitation and the essence of this card, but we never talked about the medicine. We're going to go into the medicine since we're in a number 5 week with 5 cards, and that last card being a 5, and 5 in tarot is change. The time has passed and the window of opportunity has closed. Now is not the moment to take that leap if you have been over preparing for. It is best to wait until conditions in heaven line up against to offer you a more prosperous moment. Any bold action you take now will require tremendous effort on your part. Just as important as knowing when to act is knowing when to return to your inner stillness and wait for more favorable times. So this is also signifying change, and change sometimes calls for patience. So this card depicts, if you look at it closely, and we talked about it last week, the 4 cardinal directions, the upper and the lower worlds, and the steps to reach these realms is the hole in the center. It's the gateway. If you look into that gateway, it's an intermediate travel point. It's like having an eye of a needle to try to get through so we can experience those higher states of awareness and wisdom. And sometimes it just gives us that freedom from our day-to-day mundane if we are looking for guidance or change to come upon in our lives. So the Indian cross, the color is orange, the number is 2, and 2s mean choice. 1, 2, you have a choice. And because the card next to it, radiating with us, is the upper worlds. The card talked about the upper worlds and the lower worlds. So I'm going to say this week we're actually going to tap into that upper world. And when you see those two birds reflecting back at each other, that's it's like looking in a mirror. It's it's a very significant image. It's all blue. Blue for chakras is the throat. We're talking about communication. And when you look at these two birds beaking at each other, it's almost like one bird who has an image of himself. And this essence talks about angels, divine helpers, those ancient ones we had in a reading also in the last couple of weeks. And all varieties of luminous beings populate the upper world. It is a place where you go to retrieve your destiny and find out who you will become, discover your great potential and undreamt possibilities. It is also a place where the spirits of the dead arrive when they complete their journey to the light. When you have the invitation to go into the Adine cross, the Indian cross, and you have a conversation or visit or an invitation, and the upper world is saying, come, calling you to step into your fully realized self. Clear distractions so you can move into a higher destiny. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is in fact the initiation you need to take that great leap. Remember, you cannot cross the Grand Canyon in two small steps, but you will need the help of the ancient ones who are there in the upper worlds greeting you to help you on your way. So when we add that 9 and that 5, we're looking at 5. Because 14, 1 and 4 is 5. It's back at these very powerful changes that will take place. We also had the blade last week, and that blade talked about cutting those cords, changing those habits, getting rid of those strings and those attachments that may be causing you delay. So if you did that last week, you actually worked and took a look in the mirror and figured out what needed to go, what needed to have change, what spring clearing that you needed to do for your personal growth, and so that you could continue on this journey, you would have arrived with the upper world and all those ancestors, all of those powerful beings in the upper world waiting to bear this change that you are coming into over the next week. And we're talking about starting this Friday, going through the next week and beyond. We have the smoky mirror. When we talk about the smoky mirror, it represents the aspects of what is implied yet cannot be immediately known in the world. The mystery of how things come together and how they fall apart without obvious casualty. This symbol represents the shadow of the human psyche, the part of the self that one disowns. The smoky mirror can also represent a state of denial or an inability or a refusal to see the truth. And that goes right back to Last week, we talked about looking in the mirror and being honest with yourself and seeing what changes needed to be met. When the curse card appeared, that curse card told us that our actions, or the karma of, or what I call karma of our ancestors past. And again, I'm going to refer, if you did not understand last week's cards, review that video again, because the smoky mirror is saying you have not journeyed into those hidden realms of the human journey, into the darkness, so you can have the courage to clean that smoky mirror so it'll show you beauty and wonder once the fog is lifted. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror. The man in the mirror. Michael Jackson's song, The Man in the Mirror, is the song that guided us all and told us all the truth. And if we don't take a look at the man and the woman in the mirror, the child in the mirror, the whomever or whatever in the mirror, then we're not being honest and truthful with ourselves and understanding where we lie in our own destiny. So we're talking about a 7 and a 4. And we're talking about that 11. And I never break that 11 down, because that 11 does go back to a 2. And 2 means you do have a choice. But if we take it as 11, that means the spirits are all over that card. That means the spirit in that smoke in the mirror is helping you take a deep look. If you take the time to do the work, you have to do the work. Look, take a moment, and I'm going to say, I'm going to be silent just for a bit, because I need you to look at that jaguar. This card is dark. This card is a card of a jaguar. Jaguars are beautiful cats, beautiful meanings, beautiful beings. And I heard a story by Caroline Mace, author of many, 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 many books about personal growth. And she's one of my favorite authors, I will say. If I ever have the opportunity to go and see her in person, which I always look at my schedule and see how I can squeeze something in, but it has not taken place yet. In the meantime, I do read her books, or have read her books. She's one of the first authors in self-help and spiritual growth that was introduced to me through my niece. And my niece was introduced through a stranger. And the story that she tells about a jaguar is, there was a gentleman who lost everything. He had a very famous company he started with a partner, and this partner one day came to him and said, I don't want to be your partner anymore. I'm going to buy you out. So that was not a good day for him. They didn't get along. Their personalities just did not match. The growth of the company that they were visioning was on two different sides of the conversation. Then he goes home to share this horrible news with his beautiful bride, his wife, and she says, I've fallen in love with another man. I want a divorce. So can you imagine, in one day, your whole world, just like that, is gone. So he goes to sleep, and in a dream, he comes into this dream that he's in this Jaguar car, and he's driving up this mountain. And can you imagine a beautiful Jaguar rear-wheel drive vehicle trying to climb a mountain? But here he is in this beautiful car, and it's making it up this mountain. He gets to the top of the mountain, and then on his way down, it's icy on top of it. But he gets down this mountain in this Jaguar car and he pulls up in this beautiful home. And this home has a beautiful woman waiting, and she has a warm meal for him. And the story ends with he had two choices: to worry about whether or not he was in a Jaguar and whether or not that Jaguar can make it up a steep hill and then again on some slippery ice. Would it make it? And so he ended up with stock in the company, and that company was Purina Cat Chow. And we all know the story of Purina Cat Chow. So his history, the worst day of his life, actually turned out to be his greatest blessing. The Jaguar, his essence, is the protector of all life in the Amazon. And in times of fear, she brings courage and certainty. Jaguar is at the top of the food chain and never becomes prey. With great stealth, she can track her mark from a distance and not to be seen or heard. She moves gracefully through the jungle, relinquishes the abundance of the rainforest, fearless and at ease. Jaguar knows the way beyond death and is the master of the shadows, blending invisibly between light and dark, night and day. And I'm going to add the sun and the moon. We see that moon. So when we go into meditation in the night with the moon, the Jaguar is there with us with all her protection and beauty. The Jaguar invitation is calling us to explore beyond the walls that confine you, to go outside your normal routine. And it goes right back to these cards. We talked about that mundane, how we get out of the mundane of being saddled where we are and push our limits and boundaries. She is delivering an invitation from your own future to investigate the unknown, to venture into the mystery and the dark of places you have been reluctant to score or to explore. So at this time, this Jaguar is telling us to just toss caution to the wind and know that we have Jaguar instincts and that they will serve us well. Our next card is the gateway. And when you think about a gateway, but let's go back to that Jaguar for a few minutes and let's add those numbers. 8, 2 and 8 is 10. We're back at a 1. It's about happening now. It's all happening now. It's not next week. It's not 2 months, 3 months. It's starting right now where you are, when you see this video and beyond. So get in tune with the beauty of the Jaguar. That story I told you, it inspired me, and I heard that story over 20 years ago when I was a young woman, young girl, just starting out. And when I heard that story, it told me at a time when life didn't seem like my dreams would come true, my destiny was not what I thought it was. That despair, it lifted me and caused me to understand the meaning of a Jaguar. And from that day on, big cats, I bought a book of big cats and I love every one of them. And we all know about that lion. So, but we're going to talk about the gateway right now. And this gateway is a gift for us. It's offering you and me a life without attachment, without expecting anything back. You can only give what is truly yours: a smile, a nod of encouragement, a gentle touch, and a kind word. This is not giving to others what you will no longer want, like the sweater that no longer fits, but gifting that which is most precious, your authentic love and genuine feelings. Oh my God, your genuine heart in this gateway. We talked about that in these past energies that we thought they, and again, I told you guys, these energies are not past. They continue week after week. May is a very powerful month. So we had the card of corn last week. And when you are being blessed, give it away. We talked about giving gifts. Don't re-gift a gift you didn't want. Give the most precious gift. If you don't have a tangible gift to share, then share the most precious gift that anyone can give, and that is love. These cards are beautiful. They all have a message that actually continues the energy of this season. It's starting in April. This season continues to roll us, and it's like when I talk about breathing and meditation. So when you breathe, think about your breathing over the next week. When you start meditating on your own path, on your own destiny, and what the possibilities that are waiting for you. When you breathe, think of your breathing as rolling with the tides, getting in the flow. We had the flow card last week. And so when you breathe in, think of like the waves just rushing on the shore. And when you breathe out, you count at the top, 1, 2, 3. Let the waves just roll back out slowly out into the ocean. That's how you get into the flow. We're now going to get into the flow for Mother's Day. We're going to get into the blessings of those mothers we're going to put the intent for those who are praying and wanting to be mothers, and those who have given birth of life. And for those ancient mothers who have left us with a beautiful, beautiful wisdom that all great mothers, the legend of all great mothers. So we're going to see what our goddesses have to say for the week ahead on Sunday for Mother's Day. So, dear goddesses, our intent has been set. We're using the crystal wand of citrine. We're looking for balance, love, and flow. And mothers who have given us the beauty of Mother Earth and all her spirit, and how mothers every day show us, complete us, prepare our day for us, or who have prepared the life we live today by even giving us the blessing to share her body and birth us into this beautiful world. Whether we're man or woman, girl or boy, no matter the age, we all had a mother, because life does not start without the mother. So when they said what came first, the chicken or the egg, I have to laugh, because I say the egg, because the egg was the earth. It was Mother Earth, Gaia, who birthed us all. Dear goddesses, please give us a card. Give us a message from the beautiful goddesses for the week of Mother's Day. Dear goddesses, just one card, please. Okay, we got 2 cards that flew out there. 2 goddesses is giving us their wisdom. I feel no other goddesses have a voice that she wished to come forth at this time. Thank you, my dear goddesses. Thank you, my dear angels. and we're going to start one goddess at a time. Okay, I'm laughing, ha ha ha, because we have a number 5, guys. Talk about that change. And we know this Greek goddess because of that beautiful owl sitting on her shoulder. Oh my goodness, Athena is the goddess of all Greek goddesses. How beautiful is this card? Knowledge. The basic colors in this card is blue. We're talking about communication. And her owl, Athena's owl, would go out and come back and bring messages to her. So she knew what was going on in the Greek pantheon at all times, because that owl and his keen sense and ability to see in the dark, no matter if you were trying to hide something, Athena, the mother of all knowledge, she knows it. So she's giving us her empowerment by saying the Athena, Greek goddess of intelligence and strategy, says knowledge is power. How many mothers out there have told their children that if you get an education, you have knowledge, they can take your Jordan shoes, you spent $200 for those shoes, they can take those. But if you spend $200 on the mind or more, they can't take that. They gotta kill you first. And then you say, today, death is not on the schedule. And you are in the perfect position to gain greater clarity. Your hard work is paying off, and everything you have learned about life has brought you to this moment in time. Your knowledge, your logical choices, meaning wisdom, common sense, these attentions are aligned with the divine will. Your intellect is keen and your mind is clear. You know what you have to do right now. The world is making sense. You don't have to question or debate it. You can take things at face value. If you think it add up, that's because it does. Have courage, my love. Your most precious dreams are within reach. The goddess Athena is here to help. Wow. What a powerful, powerful message from the goddess Athena. I had to take a stare at myself and look in the beauty of her eyes. And we have, oh my God, guys, this is incredible. Gaia, Mother Earth, in her pregnancy and birthing of the world. Look at her. Oh my goodness. How appropriate. How just magical. This is magical. I'm not even gonna, it's just pure magic that Mother Gaia has showed up when we're talking about Mother's Day. We're talking about change. We're talking about our own personal growth. We're talking about new beginnings. And the intent also was to give a blessing to those mothers and those mothers who are seeking to bear children. This empowerment message is being grounded, slowing down, and remain present in your body is the message that the Greek goddess Gaia has for us right now. Perhaps you spent too much time in your head lately. Have you not taken good care of yourself as you would have liked to? Or have you loved yourself the way you love the person you love the most? I'm going to just ask that question. Who do you love? And outside of yourself, whether it's your man, your parents, your children, if you love them with your entire being, do you give yourself that same love? Look in the smoky mirror and ask yourself that. Do you see yourself in love, being loved the way you love? Get into a rhythm. Make sure you get enough sleep. Commit to spending more time in nature and eat sensibly with conscious awareness. So if you are trying to nourish your body to bring life into this world, you have to nourish your body. You have to nourish your soul. You have to nourish your mind. Gaia, the earth mother of all life, invites you to pay attention to your body, for you are a creature of the earth as well as spirit. You're a part of this living earth, which is the foundation for all of life that has physical form. What form does your life take? That's a question. This is the perfect time to take a closer look to ensure you're happy with where you're at, and you can only begin where you are. You are where you are. You also need to ask and examine the foundation of what you are building in your life. Does it feel solid and stable? Is your tree rooted? We had that card as well. That's why I was not able to do a reading, because we needed to focus on those cards, because those cards are the foundation to make us solid and stable. It's a perfect time right now to focus on stability and security. Remember, Father Saturn, the planet, astrologically is now moved out the way. We're in the astrological sign of Taurus, the bull, in May, which brings about Earth and its stability, and it's grounded. It is the most grounded time of the year. And the goddess Gaia is reminding us that the earth is a playground for our conscious manifestation. So be respectful of her earth and her truth, and the universe, her universe, will grant you all you ask. If the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees get water, light, sun, nourishment, why wouldn't I? Take a look, ladies and gentlemen, at what Mother Earth Day also was just a week away. And so we are in a time to ground ourselves, ground our spirits. I am going to put my hands together over my heart in prayer and say, may God bless you with your bounty, because now is the time to be in the flow, to be in love with yourself, be in love with Mother Earth, be in love with the universe, and understand these cards are nothing but truth being spoken. These crystals have emanated. It's giving us the opportunity to have overall well-being, health, wealth, and happiness. Namaste. Until the next time, my friend. Namaste.